we doing? I am so exhausted. I did um I did a workshop last week and I pretty much stretched myself super thin last week. We had a couple of illnesses and family stuff come up, and it has just been a crazy ride this past week. So I apologize to my audience, however many of you there are. Thank you so much for being here. I am back in the grind. I am back at it, trying to get my life in order. I ended up picking up part-time hours back at the hospital that I work at. So my time is a little more structured, but more restricted than it was. So I'm trying to find a good balance still. And I know you all know what I'm saying when I say that balance is hard to do, especially when there's a big change. So for me, whenever there is a shift in my schedule or an added responsibility or, a new endeavor, project, whatever it may be, there's always a little bit of a time period in there where I have a hard time adjusting and making everything that I already had on my plate work with the new things that I'm adding to my plate. So that's kind of what's been happening over the last couple weeks. So here we are, finally getting a podcast out for you guys, and I am excited to talk about aquatic therapy. So one of the things that I've been really trying to incorporate into a lot of my programs is doing exercises in water. And there are several reasons why I like to include that. One of them is just simply that it is fun for me. And it's something that I sort of fell into as a specialty as I moved into my position um, in outpatient PT. And I really enjoyed the aspects of aquatic therapy that we couldn't be accomplished on the land, and the fact that I was able to help people get moving that didn't think that they could really do a lot of movement anymore, and people that had really given up on PT or exercise or even getting a, a a lid on their pain and their energy levels. So I want to dive in with a quick um, discussion on chronic pain in general. And the sad part about chronic pain is that it affects so many people. Now, for you, that means you're not alone. Um, there are literally millions of people with chronic pain. In fact, in the United States, there are 51.6 million people with chronic pain, and 17.1% of those, or 17.1 million of those people, sorry, um, actually have something called high impact chronic pain, which means that it affects many aspects of their lives, and that may be work, um, social aspects, being able to just be a provider for your family and, be a functioning, quote, functioning member of society, or, kind of what we have deemed as such. And these people are really struggling, and that could be you. And I'm so sorry for that. The other piece of chronic pain is that the healthcare system does not, I have a marker in my hand and I'm just waving it around. The healthcare system does not take very good care of our chronic people. Um, Initially you might find that you're going to have a lot of jumping around. You're going to see a lot of doctors. You're going to have a lot of tests run potentially if you get into the right places. And then, as things sort of wind down and the answers are not clear or there are no answers, you start to feel like um, people have given up on you. And unfortunately, that usually leads to you giving up on yourself as well. And I don't want that for you. I want to support you. I want you to feel supported, and I don't want you to give up. Um, so here I am to offer something that you may have not yet tried. Um, Many people, when they think of aquatic therapy, um, think of swimming. And I have had providers, other doctors, um, refer people for swimming. And so even the clinicians out there don't really know what aquatic therapy is or what you're getting when you're coming for aquatic therapy. I'm sorry about the lighting. It's wonky. Oh, that's worse. Well, I look like a ghost. Um, and so I want to talk a little bit about what it actually is. And honestly, just to have somebody who listens to you and can um, have a lot of empathy for what you're going through, I think is really beneficial. So I want to just put out there that I am here to talk. You can text me at 855-603-6608 anytime you want. You can reach out. Just let me know who you are if you're not already in contact with me. And we can talk about pain, about the healthcare system, whatever you need to feel supported. And I will try to help you however I can. I can't guarantee that I can help everybody. And it took me a really long time to wrap my head around the fact that I can't help everybody 100%. But I feel like even if I can offer just listening, that's something and it can help. So, shoot me a text if you want to chat. So, you've been through the ringer probably at this point. If you have chronic pain, you've been going through pain for more than a few months. You've been probably to your doctor a couple times. You may have even tried physical therapy. Um, the other thing is that the healthcare system also doesn't really set you up for success out of the gate. Um, the wording, even that's used, can set you up for fear and um, distrust right out of the gate. So it's hard, even from my perspective, being within the healthcare system, to see patients that are coming from other healthcare providers that are either gaslighting them or saying things to them that are putting them in this place of fear and worry and stress. And I wish that I could do more for those people. You want someone who listens to you. You're hoping for something different. You've been looking all over the internet, right? So you've been Googling, um, is there even a possibility that there's something out there that you haven't tried yet for your pain? And that um, I think that aquatic therapy is usually one of those things because, again, there's a lot of misinformation about what aquatic therapy is. Either people think it's swimming or people think that it is like water aerobics. And water aerobics, wow, that can be an option that could be beneficial depending on what your situation is, because you are still getting exercises in the water and you are more active than you would have been otherwise. Aquatic therapy is something that is more specific to um, the pain and to developing basically um, the underlying factors that are involved in your pain. So it's much more focused, much more, there's a lot more education that goes into developing an aquatic exercise program that is for therapeutic purposes. And it's just a little bit more involved than your typical water aerobics type class, which is much more cardio based and very generalized for the general population. Um, all right, so I just want to lay out the myths, misunderstandings that are surrounding the aquatic therapy world. Um, if you are sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. So if you have been doing exercises and and you have been having pain with exercise and you've been frustrated with physical therapy, maybe even getting worse with physical therapy, and so you're hesitant to go back to physical therapy, right? Because you've tried it. The problem with that train of thought or that framework of thinking is that physical therapy is not the same across the board, and each physical therapist has a different approach. And, I'm not saying that I'm not going to have you do some of the same exercises that you may have done with other physical therapists, but my approach is probably a little bit different in several different ways than other physical therapists. And the same goes for every other physical therapist out there. Everybody sort of has their own little twist on how they like to treat patients and what has been successful for them. It all comes from, the number of years of experience and the type of experience that the therapist has been in, right? So because I've had the chance to really experience aquatic therapy as well as a couple of different other types of therapies. And I am working on developing my aquatic therapy program into incorporating some other aspects, which, um, is a level of creativity that sometimes requires extra thinking and outside the box thinking that not everyone likes to do. Um, it's very easy, even for healthcare providers, to also fall into a place where they maybe do the same things for each one of their patients and kind of forget that everybody's different and everybody's unique. And part of the reason for that is the insurance system, because the insurance system just it sets the therapist up for failure from the get-go as well. Um, and I'm not going to dive into that today, but it puts us all in a place where burnout is just, just barely there. It's like one little thing can knock you over that threshold of, okay, I'm now a burnt out healthcare provider. And, we're seeing it across the board, not just with PT, but even doctors, nurses, other occupational therapists, speech therapists, and dietitians are all very, very close to, if not already, burnt out. And it is unfortunate because it affects the patient care as well. And again, the kind of basis for that burnout is really rooted in the insurance system that we have to put up with. And so we're seeing that a lot more healthcare providers are moving into a private pay structure because not having to deal with insurances is making us, breathe a sigh of relief and realize that the profession that we chose is not the reason that we're burnt out. It's the insurance system. The healthcare system that we have in this country has burnt us out, not our actual profession. We enjoy helping patients and we enjoy doing what we do in the context of, having the freedom and flexibility to actually do what's right and what's best for the patient. And that's not usually the case if you're dealing with insurances. So, that all being said, back to aquatic-based programming. Um, so right off the bat, we know that there's a reduced impact in the water. You also are going to get improved circulation, particularly if you're in warm water. So there are pools out there that are built to be warmer. Um, most pools are heated, especially ones that are, used on a membership basis or for therapy in general. The pool is heated, but a specific therapy pool is going to be heated a little bit warmer, usually about 10 degrees warmer, if not more, than a standard like Olympic pool. So you're going to have improvement in circulation, you're going to have reduced impact, you're also going to have flexibility of movement because you don't have as much of the safety issues as you do if you're exercising on land, particularly for people who struggle with balance and stability and maybe even have had some falls. You're going to have enhanced relaxation. So there's just something about being immersed in water. And again, warm water is even better. It's going to help your muscles relax, but it's also going to help you relax because, again, you're safer. You're in a place where, if you fall, you're just going to get more wet. Um, Particularly, if you're a really high fall risk, I would say definitely have somebody with you, but that person is going to be able to help you a lot easier in the water than on land. Um, and you're just going to be able to get into this um, place where you're more relaxed and you are not hurting as much. Um, so decreased fear, and that kind of plays into the relaxation piece. So you're not as fearful because the the pain that you typically get with exercise is not there. And again, that fall risk or injury risk is substantially reduced. Enhanced sensory and proprioception. So you have water molecules touching you all over your body. It's providing a little bit of compression as well because of that buoyancy and the pressure. As you go deeper down, we know that there's more pressure. Um, and so all of that pressure kind of pushing on the body, it's helping all of those sensory perceptors um, feel that water and be activated. And it's taking away some of the pain because the sensations are changed and you're feeling the molecules of water, but then also the proprioception. So, particularly for my friends who have hypermobile joints, um, people that have a lack of proprioception. So, if there's any kind of um, pathology happening in the joints, then you might have decreased proprioception, and this is going to help that. And proprioception is just the ability to kind of feel what position your joints are in, where you are in space, where your joints are in their range, and it helps you to be able to get a feel for that better because of the the molecules of water and the pressure and compression that are all happening in the water. All right. Um, so most people also will say to me, like, "Look, that's great, but I don't have a pool." And there's some ways around that. So a lot of local fitness centers might have a pool, hotels, um, timeshare places that have timeshares usually have pools. Um, Most hotels, since COVID, it's been a little bit more spotty, but like your Hampton Inns and your Days Inn and your Holiday Inn, like they're typically going to allow people to utilize their pool. You're just going to want to check with them. Local inns, those sorts of places. They usually have like a fee of $10 to $15 a person to use the pool for the day. Colleges is another place to check. So colleges, universities, they oftentimes have pools for their swim teams, um, or other programs that involve uh, pool usage. And they oftentimes also have like membership opportunities or daytime or day usage opportunities as well. And then you have like rec centers that are specifically centered around activities or, the use of their pool for like swim teams. Um, Usually those are more like Olympic sized pools, but they will work for the exercises if you don't have any other options. YMCA's, those sorts of places usually have pools that you can use, and it's either in a like a day pass situation or you pay for a membership. Other people will tell me that they can't swim. I've had many patients in the pool that can't swim, and that's okay. The pool that I have patients use only goes to 5 feet, so it's it's pretty much to a point where they can touch anywhere in the pool for most of my people. I have had the occasional person that can't touch in the 5 feet, but that's okay because if we're in the 5 feet, we usually have noodles, the pool noodles, so they're usually okay. Um, we also use the wall, we use other flotation devices. Um, we can make sure that we have somebody with us to ensure any, you know, ensure safety. And also be sure, if you're going on your own to check out the safety procedures at the location that you're using. So check with the staff if there's a lifeguard on duty, or if there's not a lifeguard on duty, what are the options for if there is an emergent situation? Is there a phone available in the pool area? Um, defibrillators, those sorts of things as well, just in case there's some kind of medical emergency while you're there. Are there people that come and check on you? Are there typically other pool goers in the area, or is it someplace that's usually pretty empty? Those are kinds of things that you want to kind of check with. So that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today. If you have any questions about aquatic exercise, go ahead and feel free to comment or send me a message. Again, the number to shoot me a text is 855-603-6608. And I do personally respond to those text messages. So feel free to send me a message if you want to chat. And whether it's just about your pain or what you're going through in the healthcare system or about aquatic therapy specifically, go ahead and let me know and reach out, and I'll be happy to help. Hope you have a great day.